Welcome to the Luxe Leap. My name is Reland Logan, and we chat with women consultants making bold moves, big wins, and the secrets to extraordinary branding. So I have a question or two. What if success didn't have to come at the cost of your well-being? What if scaling your business could feel aligned, intentional, and even enjoyable? Our next guest is proof of that it can. Meet Jacqueline Mack. She's a sales strategist, ROI business coach, and radical self-mastery mentor. With over 20 years of experience and more than $31 million in high-ticket sales personally closed, Jacqueline is the powerhouse behind some of the most confident, high-converting business owners and sales teams in the industry. She helps performers attract premium clients, boost retention, and scale sustainably without burnout, pressure, or outdated sales tactics. You know, the ones we all hate? Through her signature frameworks, sales codes, money codes, and Rise Up, Jacqueline blends proven sales structures with subconscious rewiring and science-based decision mastery, helping her clients lead from vision and not fear. Her philosophy? The new ROI is return on intention. Because when you align your time, energy, and focus with purpose, the returns in business and life are exponential. She's a former overachiever, I know what that feels like, and premium closer who burned out twice. And instead of hiding that part of her story, she turned it into her power. Today, she teaches others how to reset, rise, and redesign success on their own terms. So get ready to unlock a whole new way of thinking about sales, leadership, and what it really means to thrive. Please welcome the incredible Jacqueline Mack. Hello, Jay.
Hello, Ray.
We've got nicknames now, everybody, and we've had a really fun conversation prior to hopping in on here, but we're going to ensure you guys all catch up with us, and we're going to have Jacqueline, why don't you share what inspired you to start your brand? Just give us a brief overview of your company story.
I will do my best to keep it brief and interrupt me if it's not, but I felt like I'm an old soul ever since I was a little girl. But I spent most of my time here in the corporate, or sorry, not in the corporate, in the online space, but previously started out lifestyle medicine, corporate health, still in high ticket sales, helping other brands start to build and develop. I was like an account manager, which I thought was sales and was nothing like sales until I entered into the online space. And since then, I spent majority of the time in the online space. Again, closing 31 million myself behind $100 million brands. One of my favorite days is when one of my clients had a $20 million month. Like I was
wow.
Like, what? 20 million in a month? And I was just at the tip of the arrow teaching some of their, I guess they would be called personal trainers at the time, health coaches, personal trainers, how to enroll as a coach into their high ticket now new program that they never ever thought about. So they were hitting 20 million just starting out in the high ticket space. So that just tells you like, holy moly. So like you mentioned, I burned out twice. Mm-hmm. That was the biggest motivator for my brand. I'm hard-headed Taurus. My birthday's May 5th. So coming up here, I know this will be aired later, but I didn't learn the first time, but I definitely learned the second. And I hope there's not a third because I feel like my awareness is finally dialed in. I've gotten a little bit wiser and realized that success without fulfillment isn't success. And I used to follow one of Tony Robbins' quotes that would say, if you're failing, it's one thing. Success could still be part of the process, right? You can fail forward. But I'm like, yeah, but if you're not fulfilled,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So I created my brand around that to help others actually break through those same invisible ceilings and invisible handcuffs and ditch that hustle culture, ditch the pressure, ditch the grind, and actually sell in alignment, build a business in alignment, authority, which ultimately gives what? True freedom. So my podcast is called Courageous and Free with Jacqueline Mack. But whether it's time freedom or money freedom or both, right? I like to create the yes and life by design. Where's the fulfillment in all of this? Because are we even free if there's no fulfillment?
No, you just created a new prison, to the left or the right of you. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to point that out, everybody. Think on that. Mm-hmm. You just created your own prison. And I think that's, before I get to my second question, I actually want to dive deep into that because I think a lot of people, I'm sure you have coached people who have thought this. I have coached people who have thought this, but it's like, I started this business because I wanted to be fill in the blank,
Mhm.
but it's just, I think I'm just going to go get another job.
Yeah.
So we just traded one prison for another because let's be honest, if you really look at YouTube, you look at LinkedIn posts. I'm not apologizing to you, LinkedIn. And you look at some of these other things, it is like a smorgasbord of hustle harder. Even
Mhm.
though some ads will be like, no, you don't need to hustle harder, but then you get into their program and it's like, nope, hustle harder. So people are, I mean, you can't put lipstick on a pig. That is the most Midwest thing I could possibly come out of my mouth today. But how do you get people out of that mindset?
Yeah. Well, they have to be aware of it first and foremost. Like some people that I speak to, even to this day, like they're like, but the hustle is what got me here. The hustle
Mhm.
is why I'm successful. Like, and I can relate to that. I was addicted to the hustle, the grind, like the dopamine hits that come from, oh, only if I have one more close, one more, I'm gonna open up 5 more call slots. Like, and it's like, okay, but at the cost of what? At the cost of what? Because we can buy into time into the future. And this is what I think helps people like have that wake up call. You can pay for a VA, you can pay for an assistant, you can pay for people to actually help you. I mean, if they can do something almost as 80% well as you, let them do it. And now you're
Yes.
buying time into the future. But what we can't buy back is yesterday, 5 minutes ago, a year ago. And as you know, I know you can relate to this as a working mama, right?
Yep.
Like my time freedom is more valuable than any dollar bill, $100 bill, $100,000 in my bank account when I have, a 7 and a 9-year-old that I want to detach from this when I go pick them up in the golf cart at the bus stop, or when I'm driving them to karate and they're like biggest cheerleader on the side of the mat when they're just practicing karate, or taking her to a horse lesson and sitting in 90 degrees at 3 p.m. Like, oh my God, why are we
Why did
doing
I
this?
say yes to this?
Right. But it's just like, this is what I dreamed of and I'm living it. But yet, recovering high performer, recovering high
Mhm.
achiever, recovering people pleaser, recovering control freak, there's still parts of me that I can totally validate my success to, but also validate my burnout too. And it's like this very fine gray line. And it's like, how can we start to just be uber aware and intentional? And part of this is just slowing down and like, our responsibility is how we respond to the world. Our responsibility is how we decide. Like, this is why everything I teach, whether it's sales strategy, business ROI, there's a lot of decision mastery going on. And it's like, I learned that through closing other people and watching how they made decisions or didn't and gave their power away to money, circumstances, or situations.
Yeah. And
Or
then they
ultimately,
and then they said that it wasn't their choice. Like they didn't have a choice. That's
they
my
get
favorite
told.
excuse that I hear.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. Life is a set of choices.
Mhm.
Even if you think you didn't make a choice, you made a choice not to choose.
Yeah. Not making a choice is
Bluntly.
a choice.
Yeah. That is a choice. And so when you can start to own them, like I
Mhm.
too am an overachiever, as I hinted at when I did
Mhm.
your intro, that I see it actually sprinkle its way into the things I do for my son's life.
Mhm.
So, we're both working moms. My kiddo's smack dab in between your two, right there. We have 7, 8, 9 between the two of us. And I was literally last week at lacrosse practice with a giant canvas because the class art had to be completed for the auction. And I got my son's sisters, like his friend's sisters, to come help me paint on these maps and like get it all done. And I'm like, I am now using other people's children to
Yeah.
execute. But I find myself in charge of the football league, like in charge of all these things. Um, and I don't know that I dreamed of that life, Jacqueline.
Well, it's funny. I didn't dream
Huh,
of it as a little girl. I didn't even
huh.
dream of it in my 20s. Like, it wasn't until my mid 30s when I started having children that I was like, huh. Because I never dreamt of the wedding. I was a very independent. Like, my family was like, you're never getting married. You're never getting, like, my identity was in my work. Right.
Mhm.
And I was proud of that. And like I said, I was addicted to the hustle and the grind. And I was like, I don't really care. Like, I just want to make money and live my life on my terms.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but once I fell in love, well, and part of what really rocked my world, to be honest, um, when I was 18, I lost my first love to a car accident.
Oh.
So it was like, well, there goes that. Like at that time I figured, there's only one soulmate. And honestly, it's whoever you fall in love with. You can have multiple soulmates. You could honestly, your one soulmate should be yourself because like nobody else should have the pressure to make you happy or love you more than you. Like when you fill your own cup up and you love yourself and your happiness is self ignited and expanded upon, you become more attractive, right? So that's for another topic if we ever want to talk about that. But when that was taken away from me and I was pissed and I felt like an 18-year-old social butterfly that was pre-med at the time, on a mission, had a plan, and then that person was just pulled away. And the only thing that helped me heal from that was seeing his parents live without him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, if they can get through this, I can too. Now, and I had to come to realize there's never getting over death. It's just, learning to live with it. Both if his parents were at my wedding when I married my husband, when I met my husband and we started taking things serious, I said, you have to meet these two people. They're very important in my life. They're Michael's parents. And I was told many times when I was dating in my 20s, I feel like I'm in competition with somebody who's already gone. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. I was just emotionally unavailable, I guess. But I had to just learn and grow. And it probably saved some wild time moments, when I was younger, but it effing sucked. Like it really did because nobody should feel what a widow feels like at 18.
Not at 18.
Right.
No.
So, but it also gave me another layer of like empathy to people who are losing people. And it's like, wow, when people are old and die, like I have a party. I'm like, you had a great life. And they're like, but aren't you sad? Of course I miss them. I'm a human. I miss their humanness, but I don't believe we die. So
No.
I want to be celebrated. I want people crying. I want people to throw a party and have champagne and go throw my ashes off a cruise ship. Like,
I actually had this conversation in a sad way this weekend. I saw my dad this weekend. My cousin just passed. She's 7 months older than me. And in that space, I was like talking about it because, we're young. We're not old, Paige and I. And it was wild because I was like, please don't bury me in the ground. Like, go take my ashes and like send them over the ocean and have a real party. Because I'm already claustrophobic. Don't lock me in a box.
Yeah.
And like, that was something to like think about and say out loud. And I'm with you. Like, especially people who made it far. I have lots of family members who live to be way over 100, aunts who wrote books about it. Like, party hard.
Party. Well, and to kind of wrap this part up, because we're not here to just talk about doom and gloom of death, but
no.
if you really think about it, the tragedy of life is not death.
Mm-mm.
It's what dies inside us while we're living. So why the hell aren't we being intentional with what fulfills us, both in our personal life and our business life? Because it's 2025. We can build whatever the hell we want, especially in America, right?
If you have a cell phone, a computer, and the internet,
yeah,
game on.
There's no excuses, right? There's just limiting beliefs and blocks that we're making true that aren't the truth. That's it. It really is that simple. And people pay me a lot of money to help them get through that and pay you a lot of money as well, right? So
I mean, I feel like you and I have two parts of the puzzle in order to get people across the finish line.
yes.
Like, and weirdly, two pieces that go very beautifully together.
Well, they're very dependent upon each other.
They are.
They're required.
So, it's almost funny. So if all of you are sitting there like, I don't know how to move forward. Well, you need a brand person who strategizes and you need a salesperson who strategizes, who both believe in simplicity. Hi, we're taking new clients. No, I'm just joking. But
I'm not. I am taking.
So, actually,
I'm not joking.
you're actually not joking. We're the two people who will get you over the finish line. You're all welcome. Our contact information will be at the end of this podcast and in the show notes. So,
and we will do a strategy call together if need be, because that's the thing. Yes. It's the structure and the frameworks that work.
Yes. And they're so important.
Mm-hmm.
I was coaching somebody yesterday on that. I was like, oh, I hear you. And I know how to do exactly what you just said, because she's going through all these different courses. And I was like, I can take all that and I can put it together, because that's what brand is. Brand isn't about being pretty. It's about being effective. Being pretty is just a bonus.
Yeah. You can do it without being pretty. It can be
Oh,
messy. And I mean, I've worked behind these $100 million brands that were a poop show, right? I don't know if we have to be PG-13 on here,
oh,
but
you can curse. I own a pirate
okay.
ship.
But like, I'm just like, how the hell are they doing hundreds of millions? I'm like, what am I doing? Like, if I only
Mhm.
made a million doing it half as good or even twice as better as them, which I know I can do,
Yes.
wow, right? So it's again, it's so funny what we give our power away to and how we can be distracted by a new strategy, a shiny. I mean, that's what social media has done to our
Oh, yeah.
culture. And but it's your responsibility to choose again, going back to like, we have a choice, choose again and do it with intention and then be consistent with it.
That part. So many people are not consistent long enough.
Yes.
Long enough. And we go on the internet, we find shiny object syndrome, and then we keep testing all these things and we say, well, it didn't work. That didn't work. That didn't work. No, it didn't. It's not that it didn't work. It's because you didn't work it. There's
Yes.
a difference. So you didn't
Yes.
work it at the right time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so you need people like us who can simplify and say, this is the timeline for you,
Hmm.
not keep trying everything, throw spaghetti at the wall. If you keep trying to throw uncooked spaghetti at the wall, guess what? It doesn't stick.
Nope. And things break.
Yeah,
And then you stop.
literally. And then you have to clean it
Literally.
up.
Then you have to clean it up and then you either do it again and then it's like touching a hot stove. When are you going to stop touching the hot stove? And when are you going to turn your hobby into a business? And when are you going to build consistency? And when are you going to be able to like give you the time freedom and the money freedom that you desired? If not, go, I mean, I can tell you out of the last 5 years alone, I've had about 7, almost 8 people right now
Yeah.
I've coached to help build their business. And by month 3, they're like, I'm cut out for this. I'm like, I told you. I go, the good news is I'm the last crazy investment you ever had to make. And now we can just focus on your mindset and your
Mhm.
resiliency and how you can create money freedom and time freedom and a quote unquote job. But
Yeah.
like this day and age, I mean, this is one good thing that came out of the pandemic, right? You can hybrid work, you can work from home 100% when it wasn't a thing unless you were an entrepreneur. So it's like, who said that you can't still go do these other things for other businesses or be a fractional whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's like, have you thought about? And they're like, wow, this is what I want, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so let's build that,
Let's
right?
go do that.
Yes, permission to do that. And it's so funny half the time when I'm like, permission to, and they're like, oh, thanks. Thanks, mom. Like, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Because we're so conditioned to need permission.
oh, yeah. Or to be, so, prove
Mhm.
ourselves or seek approval.
Yep.
Oh, old. It just gives me goosebumps just
Yeah,
saying that out
it
loud
gets
as a
icky.
child.
Yeah, and, like, I mean, especially as women,
Mhm.
a lot of us are good girl conditioned,
Oh, yeah.
and that is a big part of the mental problem.
Yeah. That's actually my pivotal moment, to be honest,
Yeah.
to where I am today. Like, that was the second burnout. I was a yes person with a specific company, which I'm still good friends with the guy because
Mhm.
I gave my power away. It's like, okay, we're building this thing. We don't have enough people yet. Can you do this? Yes. Can you do this? Yes. Can you do this? And then 1 month turned into 2 months, 2 months turned into 3 months, and then 6 months. And I broke out into hives. And I'm like, what the hell is this? What's brain fog? My autoimmune system is always healthy. Like, why do I have autoimmune challenges right now? Right. And of course, if you look on paper,
Yeah,
everything was amazing. The
it's
money was
terrific.
flowing. I had 25K cash months. Momentum was building. My name was getting recognition, but internally I was depleted, which
Yeah.
is a disaster. And I knew I couldn't like keep coaching clients at this rate and also having my foot behind another business doing done
Mhm.
for you stuff at that rate. It was like, okay, I need to choose one or the other or come up with a new plan.
And what did you do? I mean,
Uh,
other than burnout, once burnout, like, kinda took its
well,
course, what did
out,
you
right?
do?
Actually, this is so cool that we're having this conversation now because it was on my birthday. I don't know if it was 4 or 5 years ago now. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be because it was before I was 40 and I'm 44 on Monday. So on my birthday, I called him and said, I'm done. I'm so sorry. Again, I didn't need to apologize. Like,
No.
you said you were doing this. You said you were hiring these people. You brought nothing to the table. I can't do this anymore. I'm not doing this
Yeah.
anymore. Right. And so I said goodbye to that. And I said hello to my business and I went all in on my business. I went all in on myself. I
Yeah.
went all in on like, okay, I got to put on my big girl pants and I need to figure out my brand, which is still kind of a hot mess, actually. It's kind of funny because I've rebranded that's the problem when you rebrand yourself, because I'm a manifesting generator. It's like, oh, okay. And that's actually
Oh,
my into 2025 dial in. And you can probably
well,
speak.
I'm a projector, so I'm right here for you.
Yeah, I know. This is why Ray was brought into my life, honestly, not to just be on a podcast. But it was made very clear that I needed to do that part. But what I also
Mhm.
didn't make the excuse, Ray, and this is what I think you'll appreciate.
Yeah.
I didn't make the excuse that my brand's not tight enough, my colors aren't defined enough, everything's kind of messy. I said, what do I know to be true to make this work?
Yes.
Well, I know that my offers are solid. I have a DIY option, I have a done with you option, and I have a done for you option. I have a structure, I have proven systems, I have proof of concept, I have some clients, and my fulfillment is fueling the sustainability.
Yes.
And all I had to do was connect and convert.
That's all
Right?
you have to do once you have a system put into position. That's
Yes.
it. Is the
Yes.
mechanism to connect and convert. I could hug you through a camera.
I know.
Um, and I want to highlight what you said, that you went in and you let it be messy first and you created those things.
Mhm.
I very rarely do branding for new businesses. I don't know that I've ever said that out loud on this podcast, but it's very true. I do
Mhm.
not. And the reason being, I mean, if I do, it's for somebody who is like in the C-suite and they're moving to something fractional, so they have established credibility. But I like it when people have made a mess. I
Mhm.
actually prefer that you've made a mess and
Saves
you've
a
learned
lot
that
of
you
time and
can make
money.
money. You can make money messy, which means if I come in and I say, let's refine it and clarify, we can amplify that because we know it works.
Yes.
And that is exceptional branding. So if you're right now stuck and you are still making 20K with the 50 Canva things that you made that do not look like they belong together, you're fine. That's when
Mhm.
you come say, I need a Reland in my life.
Yes.
Like that is the point in which it's like, it's time, it's go time. Because I was telling somebody, I was trying to not convince them. I don't really believe in convincing anybody, but I was sharing with her. I was like, listen, I hear everything you're saying and I know how to put that together. And that's very clear to me. That
Mhm.
is my superpower, is the
Yeah.
ability to see things before anybody else can. And, um, and I was telling her, I was like, no, I don't just do websites. Matter of fact, I wish everybody would take that out of their brain. It might be a piece of what I do,
Mhm.
but it's what happens in the back end, that clarity, the fine tuning of systems. To your point, where do
Yeah.
we connect and convert? And once we know what the mechanism is to connect and convert between the two of us,
Yeah.
then it's taking it to you and saying, okay, you know what the connect and convert is? You know what's pretty? Let's take that and move mountains now.
Momentum.
If your mountain is $1 billion, then let's push it to 1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's,
people are like, and then, but what happens is this happened to me, and it like I don't care who you are, and you'll agree to this, I'm sure.
yeah.
Imposter syndrome will show up. It's like new imposter syndrome is like the new fear.
Yeah. It's another way to dress it up. It's fear.
It's fear. It's the lipstick on a pig, right? So it's like imposter syndrome used to whisper a lot, and I used to be like, okay, that might be true. So again, making a belief a fact when it's not. And then and when it would whisper, I was just like, okay, I hear you, but you don't get to drive the ship today. You don't get to take the wheel. I'm going to just lock arms. You get to come along with me, and I'm going to show you, like, this is how we're doubling down on positioning. We're going to double down on showing up in authority. We're going to double down on the certainty of the value I bring beyond what you think you can do, because I know, because I've seen it happen over and over again. And if you don't do that, it's going to cost you a lot of time, a lot of money, and the worst is your soul, right?
Yeah.
And that's the biggest piece of this, because that's not how anybody wants to live, let alone run a business.
And
And so how do we build one that honors like your values, your energy, and most importantly, your brilliance, right?
exactly. I mean, I get it. Life's not fair. That was in quotations for anybody who's listening and not watching. You need to be fair to yourself, and only you can determine what fair is. And you need to Jacqueline's earlier point about like you need to be your own soulmate. You need to love yourself enough to make life fair for you, because you can't show up for others, and you sure in the hell can't show up for your client.
Mm-hmm.
So what does fair look like for you as an individual, as you're going through the world and being in alignment, or just understanding where that intention is, I think the work you do, Jacqueline, is really beautiful from that perspective. It's important. You're so welcome.
Mm,
You're so
thank
welcome.
you.
Um,
Getting people to want to actually do the work, because people come to me, I want the sales tool, I want the structure, I want the strategy. I'm like, okay, but if the elephant shows up in the room today and you're being blocked by a mindset, doesn't matter what strategy I share with you today, you're not going to succeed with it. And people be like, oh, but Tyler and Dr. Phyllis, they all had 30K days just last month. Yes, they did.
yeah,
Because they
they
didn't,
did the work.
this was set up and the structure worked with it. And now we're in alignment and now we have this head heart coherence and boom. Like it really does feel easy. It's not always easy, but it is very simple.
It's
Why don't we do it?
it's wonderfully simple. I actually wrote about this. It'll come out later in time. But I was like, I was thinking about a job and I was thinking about what I make in business. And I literally like wrote it out. I was like, I made $1,750 in one day when that is what was more than 2 weeks of getting paid. I made 20K in one day. That was more than what I would make for the remainder of the year. Like, it's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
It is a choice to sprinkle the seeds. And that day I made 20K. I helped that person back in January and they came back to me randomly in August. And we're like, I'm ready.
Well, not randomly. It was synchronous.
Yeah, no, you're right. I did work behind it. It was doing authority work. It was very random stuff. It was like, I've been seeing all your LinkedIn posts. I'm ready to start working with you now. Person didn't like a single one, didn't share a single one, did not comment on a single one.
Mm-hmm.
You never know
Consistency.
who's lurking, y'all.
Yeah.
But you got to put the time in.
Yeah.
And be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move to the future.
Yes.
Because I love future. I mean, you've already said that having your brand done by 2025 is a thing. But what are your long-term goals for expanding your brand's impact? I didn't forget.
Oh gosh, this is kind of a loaded one because I teach people to live from their vision. So we always do like a 3-year vision, and then I teach you how to live from that vision and decide from that vision as if it's already happening. And then you're like, well, how do I do that? Well, it is very simple. Again, not easy because we're programmed for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, firing and wiring in our brain. Like what's familiar is safe.
Yeah.
And what's
Always.
familiar and safe is predictable. So if I do something new, which you're going to have to do something new if you want to experience more of anything in life, fulfillment, love, money, relationship, connection, adventure, all the things that, as you can see, I love experiencing, which is why I say it, because that's what I'm speaking into every day. It really is building a legacy around that.
Yeah.
So when I think of long-term goals, when I think of my brand, I haven't trademarked it in any way yet, but again, this is going to come to fruition, I know, this year, and it will keep growing and expanding, but it really is the fulfillment first scalability, right?
Yeah.
Fulfillment is the new success. ROI is return on intention now, and it's empowering those, thousands of people. I've already empowered thousands. Like I'm on the tens of thousands of entrepreneurs to not just grow, but like to really grow with intention.
Yeah.
Really grow with the value, unapologetically, bold, build that profitable, sustainable business that supports their life and doesn't consume their life. And so the core of this vision is collaboration, which is why Ray and I are doing this together. And there's going to be lots more we'll be doing. I mean, don't be surprised, Ray, if we have bundles. Like I just did a
Probably will.
bundles. It's like this is what you need and then what's required and you deserve. And here's the collaborative piece that's happening. Because I deeply believe the next era of fun, fulfilling business growth is about not doing it yourself because no one's giving you a gold star or
nobody or a cookie
or champagne for doing it yourself, right? It's about doing it together.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm building like literally within my brand, this collaborative referral network. And that's why I never started a membership. Yes, I have self-study courses. Yes, I have one-on-one coaching. Yes, I have done for you fractional sales director stuff. You can build out in a really cool way. But at the end of the day, I believe my membership will feel more like a network that works together, a network that creates bundles and offers and experts that are high caliber, right?
Yeah.
And no nonsense, or you're out. Like, I don't care if you want to pay me, you're out. And you can take offense to that or not, but it's like grow or go. That's just
no, I agree. It's grow or go. Like
Yeah.
we're here to win and we really don't want people to hold us back. If more women, I don't know if yours will include men, but if more women had, let's just say resource, so time and money, whatever that looks like, and could make change, this world would be a better place. It would be a
Yes. And you
better
mentioned
place.
money. Like money, I used to not want to say I love money because everybody's like,
I love
oh,
it.
money, I love money, right? And I'm like, this is why. So in my Rise Up program, which is radical intentional self expansion to unleash your unlimited potential. So yes, there's two U's and up.
I love it.
There's a course in there. It's like 5 courses in one. One of them is money codes. When I was selling sales codes to clients,
Yeah.
they had horrible money stories. I'm like, shit, you need this too. So I now have
Mhm.
money codes in my sales codes program and I have money codes in the Rise Up because that's just it. It's like, it's not just that we need it, we deserve it in order to grow
Yes.
and expand. And it's literally the codes behind all the strategies when it comes to how you're making decisions, how you're buying things, how you're not, how you're saying no, no, no. And people are like, why are you saying no? That's so lack mentality. I'm like, no, I'm saying no to create room for a bigger hell yes. Right.
Yes.
So yeah,
Hell
it's
yes.
hell yes. It's the teamwork. It's like the community space, but not one where like everybody shows up and we're like,
What are we
there's
doing here?
intention behind it. Yes, there's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Yes, there's a lot of play. Like with retreats, for example, I have a VIP day retreat that is really one on
Yeah.
one right now, but I have people are like, oh, can I bring like 5
Bring a
people?
friend.
Can I bring a friend? Yeah. So like I live here in Orlando. I'm about 10, 15 minutes from the international airport, about 25 minutes from a beach. And there's some really cool bougie hotels nearby. I have some expert friends that do somatic healing, sound bowl healing, sauna, ice plunging, grounding work, like meditation, like on a whole nother scale. I love them. They're my
Yeah.
soul family, I call them. And so it's a different kind of retreat day. It's a VIP day to literally recalibrate at the cellular level, 90-minute increment
Yeah.
sections with integrated like 15-minute bio breaks. I call them, go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
refill on some whole foods, clean, healthy, but yummy,
Mm.
teas, waters, everything you need. And then I say block the next day. So this would be like on a Thursday. Block the next day for integration. So whether you sit
Mhm.
by that bougie pool, sip a mimosa, you're just going to integrate on everything that happened the day before because you were just activated. You know, you had a
Mhm.
90-minute session with me. You had a 90-minute session with my hypnotherapist. You had ice plunge, hot therapy, cold sauna experience. You did some sound bowling. You had a massage that the bed of the massage table was bumped up against your hotel bed. So literally
You just
when
roll over.
roll over, go to sleep, and your favorite beverage is there, essential oils are filling the room, and boom, lights out, right? Or your journal's there. Maybe you want a journal, but it's like just trust that everything that you needed to know tomorrow's integration day. So either I pick you up, we go watch the sunrise, walk on the beach in silence, or coaching mode. We spend a couple hours at the beach and then you're done. And then maybe your kids fly in and you go hit Disney and Universal or go to the Keys or jump on a cruise ship, right? But it's like Wednesday night through Friday afternoon, it's a full immersion. And I feel like people don't just need that, they deserve it.
They
And
do.
nobody's talking about things like this. Yeah, there's like week-long retreats, but some people don't have a week.
No,
And it's
they
like,
they don't. That's why I do branding things in 2 days. People don't have a week anymore.
yeah,
What's a week as a working mom?
there's a lot that I'd have to sacrifice, right? And I'm not willing to do that right now. You can do
No.
my branding in 2 days and a photo shoot and all that. Sign me up.
Like,
I will be there.
it's
Just
but
keep me
that
posted.
it's like it's so wild
Yeah.
because I'll be like, "Okay, you're gonna do a photo shoot on this day. Go get the photos. They'll give them back to me. We'll get them edited. I will get everything done. You show up, and on day 1, I unveil it. We make edits. Day 2, we like walk through some back end stuff, and it's like, great, go live your life.
Yes.
Go,
Let this do the
go.
work it's intended to do. And
Yes.
that's probably honestly the biggest piece of like my marketing strategy that really has been supporting my brand growth, even though it's messy as hell. But it's getting better, right?
Yeah.
Is less content clutter and more connection,
Yes.
right? Doubling down
Mm.
on the conversations, doubling down on live workshops, collaborations of workshops, collaborations of masterclass. So I have my own workshops now.
Yeah.
And then I have my that's how I distinguish them, the difference, even though a workshop and a masterclass, same thing, right? I guess. But my
Yeah.
masterclass brand is leads to revenue. So that's the title with a subtitle based on who the expert is I'm co-hosting that masterclass
Yeah.
with. So Ray, we're going to do a masterclass. You don't
We're
know
gonna
it
do it.
yet.
I have decks on decks on decks on decks on decks.
So we're going to do a lead.
Go-to teacher.
I love it. Actually, you're like, Jackie, we're going to do 5 master classes. I'm already ready to go. Tell me.
I'm literally ready to go. It is an ongoing joke in my friend group of like, if you need a last minute speaker, your best bet is Ray.
Yes, I love this because people don't need more noise, right? They need real humans like us to give them the no BS, no fluff approach. Like, what can I take today, apply it to my business, and get a result, right?
And get a win. Because
Yes.
when we start compounding little wins, we get really big wins. And fear starts to just move out of the way because you can't. Back to your point, because my first degree is in psychology. We both were pre-med. We talked about this like weeks ago, y'all, but like you should know that both of us ladies, somehow, some way, at the age of 18, were pre-med ladies, and mine was for psychology. And I always think about like the concept of fear. And we are creatures of habit. That is a true and tested thing. Some of us are better at trying new things. That's why we move further and faster than your average bear. But when we look at that piece of overcoming, it's just taking that first step. And then that first step wasn't so scary. And so if you can compound a bunch of little wins, it was a bunch of first steps that were honestly not that scary. You thought you were stepping out on a ledge, and really there's a whole forest and you could keep walking. There was no ledge. There was no cliff.
Yeah.
And even if there was, you'll be fine. It's water down there.
Yeah. Perception. I love that. And a lot of people are like, well, taking the first step you think is the hardest. It's honestly, once you take it, it's the 5th or the 10th. It's the consistency of taking the damn step, right?
The consistency of keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. Keep flying, little bird, right? Keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Just like find your inner Dory.
Yeah.
So it's,
gosh, how blissful would it be to live like Dory, right?
I know, where you have like moments of complete and full, like deep intelligence and just like, oh, I'm going to call you my squishy.
Exactly.
I've seen the movie A Time or 20.
Oh, me too, on repeat.
Yeah, on repeat. When that movie came out, my little brother was like 1. I am 13 years older than him. So like keep that in perspective. But I feel like between him, all my siblings, and then having a kid, Finding Nemo might have shaped my life. Don't ask. That was extra deep for no reason. Do you want to go back to quantum physics? I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, black holes.
And black holes. Everyone's like,
Not recorded for this podcast.
Yeah, everybody. Jacqueline had a deep understanding that I am a secret nerd. I will hold it on a mantle, and I went to a whole talk about black holes and quantum physics and cosmology, because it's not cosmetology, that's makeup.
That's different.
So, very interesting stuff if you're bored, and I am going to bring it back around to actually, you answered my last question, so I have fun questions for you now. Are you ready for fun?
Yeah, spontaneous fun. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Spontaneous fun. I could talk to you for hours, and I like looked at the time. I was like, oh, we made it to the end. I swear we just started.
We did.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes.
Deep thoughts. What does a day living a luxurious life look like for you?
You know what's crazy is you would have asked me 5 years ago, different answer. But now I'm living it. I'm really living it. But let's take it from a perspective of
5 years from now.
Yeah, like because I have my days. I'm actually in another season of really reprogramming my days again. I just did a podcast talk on it this morning about how do you scale and elevate revenue. And whether it's a work day or a flex freedom Friday, it starts without an alarm. Like I literally wake up, and I know some of you might hate me. I'm a morning person, but I wake up between 5 and 6 without an alarm. And it doesn't matter if I go to bed at midnight or I go to bed at 10 or 9:30 and when I fall asleep playing with my daughter or something, right? But I really do wake up without an alarm. I stretch a little bit. Well, actually, I'm not going to lie. My secret is I listen to my own vision that's recorded before my feet hit the ground, because our subconscious mind is most receptive and vulnerable. So I'm feeding it what I desire, because what I desire, I divinely deserve. I wholeheartedly believe that, and God doesn't make mistakes. So I stretch, I snuggle, Might be with my hubby, might be with the fur kids, might be with my two-legged kids. And then I take a walk. I literally live around, like, there are 5 state park trails. I know it's like I'm 10 minutes from the airport, 25 minutes from a beach, the lakes across the street. Yeah. And I have trails. So I grab one of the pups because one of them is still in training because we just rescued him. So I can't really walk them together without him being crazy, but we walk, we ground. Sometimes I'm listening to a podcast talk, a book. Sometimes I'm just in my own walking meditation. Actually, that's what I did this morning. I just said, I'm going to just focus on, I have a workshop today, I have a podcast today, and I have a podcast interview today. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to anchor into like the energy of how I want to show up, how I want to serve, how I want to lead. That's luxurious to me. And that's just in the first few hours of my day. I feel like, I come back, I have my tea ready, spend a little bit more time with the kids, take them down to the bus stop in the golf cart. And you know what's really fun? Sometimes my husband will play hooky and we'll take the boat out on the lake.
Oh, nice.
That's luxurious, right? No kids.
Yeah.
And this is a semi-private lake, but there's a public dock at the park. Nobody's on it Monday through Friday. And even the weekends, it's not busy. And we get kind of sad because we'll go out on the boat. And we're like, we just want to hang out with some people. Like, where's everybody?
Where you at?
There's all these boats, like at these houses that are gorgeous mansions on the lake, and nobody's using their boat. So, like, when I think Luxe life, I think also like, I can disconnect from my phone. Like, I have really strong boundaries, but I really over deliver and serve my
I don't
clients.
even know mine is.
Or yeah, like we don't know where it's at. We're not tethered to these invisible handcuffs or ceilings. And if I want to do a spa day, I can go do a spa day. That used to be kind of like my thing. And I used to do, and I'm like, I didn't like the chemicals they were using at the spa, or, that massage person was like, I'd rather bring the lady that comes to my house. So Luxe is a little bit more intentional. I'm very particular, the whole Wicked movie, popular. My daughters and I changed the words to particular because we're all very particular.
I'm not going to unhear that. And earlier today at a meeting for Grayson's school gala that I chair, I literally was like, oh, if you take me to Wicked, I'm singing the entire thing.
Yes. Well, now you're going to say particular instead of popular because that is what the Mac girls do. And so it's like, I get to. So if I'm going to say Luxe life, if I can sum this up, because I only just started with you the first till lunchtime, right? And we've done that. We've had lunch on the boat. But like my work days are a little different, but it's spacious and intentional. It's time blocked, but yet it's spontaneity. So it's like living this like yes and life by design, and I get to versus have to, right? So let that land, because like get to versus have to, like my daughter this morning was like, oh, we're out of French toast. Now I make French toast from scratch. I do it on an oven sheet. So it's like bulk. So it lasts for like 3 days, and it's yummy, and it's sprinkled with cinnamon, and it's fun, and she helps me make it. So like sometimes I'm like, oh, I just want to go on my walk. But I'm like, it takes 15 minutes to throw in the oven or less. Actually, I think I did it in 7 minutes. I set a timer. I'm like, I'm doing this in 7 minutes or less. Let's make it a competition. And it's like,
I love it.
I could have said I have to make her it, but I'm like, no, I don't have to. I get to. And in the meantime, we get to have a dance party in the kitchen, and like.
And some parents don't get to do that.
Or they choose not to.
Yeah.
Like they get to if they want to, or they don't want to because they think, oh, that's chore. That's a work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I remember my kids were in preschool and they had to have a pack lunch at the preschool they went to. And I was just like, oh, I got to pack a lunch today. I'm like, no, I get to pack the lunch. I get to take a toothpick and write I love you on the banana peel so it's brown I love you.
Yes.
And stick the little love note. Like I get to. And they love, like the teachers loved it. Like we would always go over to Kelsey's lunchbox and be like, what did mommy put a little note in today? Like it made the teacher's day. So it's again, and I'm not going to pack their lunches forever. Like maybe when they're 20 something, I'll still like, here's the lunch. I miss packing lunches for you. Right. So to me, the Luxe life is like, we take vacations like every other month. Sometimes they're long weekends. We have 3 cruises planned this year because we forgot to plan a couple last year. We have 2 weddings we're going to. We're going to see Niagara Falls, or we're at one wedding. Who knows what we're going to do in North Carolina.
There. Top over the border.
It is. Well, we all have passport. I mean, my daughters had passports when they were a month old. Like
you're like, we're leaving.
I mean, my one daughter was on 18 flights before she was 1.
I feel that actually. I feel like Grayson traveled a lot as a baby.
Yeah. That's the Luxe life. It's like, it's not work hard, play hard. It's like work smart and invest into what you love. And I love adventure. I love experiences.
And those are beautiful things. I actually was like looking at places to be. I have something to share with you when we're off this call.
Okay.
I think you'll love it. Okay. And then my very last question, my favorite question.
I thought that was the last one. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. This one's quick.
Okay.
In one word, what is your primary motivation in business?
Ooh, well, if you guys didn't hear the theme, you would probably think it's freedom, but it's fulfillment because that's what creates the freedom, right?
Beautiful. I love it. All right, everybody. You heard it from Jacqueline. You need to live a fulfilled life. And her life is fun. A fun, fulfilled life, if I'm going to add a word to that. But Jacqueline, what's the best way everybody can connect with you?
LinkedIn, please. No, you might see me on other platforms, but like right now, Instagram, some weirdo has my account. So they're not posting anything on my account on Instagram, but you can go consume my material that's there because it's really good. But if you want to DM me or connect with me, please go to LinkedIn. I'm very active there, very responsive. And that's where you'll hear about all my free workshops, get free modules from other things. Like I'm constantly giving free stuff away all the time. Like if you stick around long enough, you'll basically get all my content for free, but you'll have to like consume it for like a year or two, or you can have it all right away. But that's just how I roll.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you so much. And this is just going to be a party of fun and laughter between the two of us. So thank you. I appreciate having you here. And everyone else, share this with your friends. Make it the thing that you all get together and do, because I have some pretty incredible women in my corner, and whether it's past episodes or ones that are coming up, you're not going to want to miss it. They're women you need champagne connections with. So I will talk to you all soon and have a beautiful week. Bye, y'all.